Take the pressure off with anti-fizzos, bottled under more than 3 atmospheres of pressure.
Awaiting orders. How may this unit assist you, Commander?
Being this close to DeVries feels like we're finally on track to set the universe aright. Anyway, need something, Commander?
Holler when you're ready for me, Doc. I'll be over here. Definitely not in excruciating pain.
Bodily excretions may incur an additional surcharge.
Can't you see I'm busy trying to look busy?
Don't mean to sound unsociable, but you might not want to stand so close. The bleeding ain't contagious, but it ain't slowed much neither. I'd hate to bleed all over you. Wouldn't mind conversating a bit, though. Anything that...
This unit is not permitted to operate within corporate-owned medical facilities without said corporation's consent. Non-legally binding reassurances, however, may be offered.
Reassurances, you say? Like what?
Deploying reassurance. Do not worry. You will be fine.
I guess that's something. Look at me, drawing comfort from a drone after being attacked by one. Funny world, ain't it? I was on sentry duty, bravely surveying our perimeter for threats, when a protectorate drone attacked out of nowhere. Third time in as many days. I returned fire like it was a cereal. Bang, bang, bang! Pew, pew, pew! Oh, not excessively, of course. Don't want Auntie taking that extra ammunition out of my paycheck. Again, it was all going fine until the damn thing blasts me while I'm reloading. But Trooper Faulkner happened upon the scene just then and dispatched the drone before it could finish me off. No idea where these drones are coming from, but Faulkner's been having a time of it lately. Be nice if someone helped out, but Carr's hands are tied. Lack of resources, I guess? As for the rest of these fine folk, they were attacked by Protectorate while defending the forward operating base. Imagine the base is probably hurting for warm bodies just now. Only one of the most lucrative posts a soldier could be assigned to. Hazard pay through the roof. The FOB's our main line of defense. The only thing stopping the Protectorate from sending their legions over that bridge of theirs and attacking us here in Fairfield. The man in charge, Commander Torres, is a legend. Rumor has it his troopers are relentless. Playing it safe doesn't amount to much, but maybe you're right. Probably just muck things up at the FOB too. Damn it. I gotta find some way to beat these low-runger allegations. It's all a moot point till I can get this arm of mine mended. Poor Doc Barnes is working himself to the bone trying to take care of us, but he's only one man. I suppose it could be worse. At least Command's not throwing us at that relay station. Can't imagine the casualties he'd be... I don't know. You some kind of doctor type? Wow. Those must be some advanced courses, because I've never even heard of them. Well, all right then. Just hope you're not squeamish. How bad is bad? Wait, don't tell me. I don't want to know. That was a comparison I could have done without. Huh. Why do I feel hungry all of a sudden? Say, I'm not sure I like the way you're looking at my arm right now. Maybe you best get along.
Oh, please, take a seat. And the doctor will be with you in a legally acceptable amount of time.
I must ask you to hold still.
My liver ain't the lily kind. Tell it to me straight, Doc.
The bullet shattered your tibia and all but demolished your gastrocnemius muscle. Due to the risk of infection, I have to abscise your leg. There is good news, however. I recently enrolled in a course on advanced amputation techniques, so I'll be seeing a positive return on my investment sooner than expected. Excuse me, I'm in the middle of a private consultation.
Say, how sore are my pockets gonna be after all this, Doc? Don't suppose there's a discount for only taking a portion of the leg?
I'm not running a charity. If you desire full treatment, you'll pay full cost. If that's a problem, seek compensation from your commanding officer. Well then, she should have thought about that before getting shot.
This is a mighty big decision, Doc. Can I have a moment to noodle on it?
I don't encourage delays, but very well. It'll take a few minutes for me to warm up the saw anyway. It would be inappropriate to hazard a guess on the exact percentage, but be assured I've reduced the margin of error significantly over the years. I hope the air isn't too thin up there on that high moral ground you're standing on. Honestly, the last thing I need right now is judgment on my medical decisions. In case it isn't apparent, I'm having what might be called a day. A whole platoon of soldiers decided to get themselves all shot up defending the forward operating base. And then there's Erickson. Something happened with a drone. I don't know. You'd be better off speaking with him about it. Oh, good lad. But he's mistaken. It's not more hands I need, but resources. Short of you skipping back in time and ordering the coagulant I need, I doubt anything can be done to accelerate the timetable for treating these soldiers. I am a doctor, not a magician. I cannot manufacture coagulant from the aether, neither do I possess the special training to improvise with what supplies I have on hand. Now, was there anything else? Here are my supplies.
Why are you pestering me? Do I look like middle management?
No time to conversate.
Keep your petty skepticism. I'll pay my tab in no time. You'll see. Mark my words. When my deal comes through, I'll have enough bits.
Our target audience here is people who want to forget their worries, and sometimes their names. Welcome to the Name-Pending Saloon, purveyor of spirits and stimuli. What'll it be, stranger? That is an ensuing step on my 19-point business plan. Trying to find a name that would convince patrons to spend their hard-earned bits here. Like to hear a few contenders? At present, my top favorites are 1. The Drunken Haggler, 2. Accessories, 3. Absinthe-Minded, 4. The Fair Shake. Now tell me, which would make you spend your hard-earned bits here? Well, that's what we'll call it then. I'll tell future business partners we did extensive outside testing. I can now check off step 18 of my business plan. Shh, not so loud. Look, operating a new location sure ain't easy. Swear I get blamed for anything going wrong, whether it's my fault or some foul up from the local head office. But the nice thing about Fairfield, if you sound like you got some know-how, people believe just about any bit of hooey or bunkum you declare. Why, sure. You'd be surprised how much loose talk and idle speculation occurs around here. What, between the Protectorate defectors, finally able to speak their minds, and all our off-duty Antes employees carping about work and the war. Any particular topic you have in mind? You're asking me for the particulars of a high-level corporate acquisition. Like an in-depth accounting of the various parties who vied for control and who won out in the end? They merged. Rebranded. Auntie Cleo seems in charge now. Dunno. Do my best to steer clear of corporate intrigue. Tell you one thing you can't avoid. The bridge. No other way around it, and at present, it's held by Protectorate forces. We have a small contingent of troops bivouacked nearby. Forward Operating Base, they call it. Oh, Minister Milverstreet's blessed with the gift of gab. Swear he could sell bypass shunts to a Raptidon. Ain't one of them falsely magniloquent types, though. Sincere fella. Shares command of Fairfield with Acquisitions Officer Carr. She's blunt and murderous. Two traits Auntie's Choice highly prizes in a commander of corporate forces. To say they have differing approaches to leadership is like saying, gee, suns are hot, whilst being incinerated in a solar eruption. Vox Station's run by a brigadier by the name of Montelli. Sounds like he's as much a danger to his own troops as ours. Real piece of work, even by Protectorate standards. Reportedly enamored of show trials and summary executions. My pleasure. Got anything for me in return?
There's no such thing as free advice, dear.
Apologies, but tall tales and poorly formed fabrications failed to impress me much. Here I was hoping you'd have a good story for me in exchange, but oh well. Not everyone's a seasoned raconteur. Reckon so.
I'm afraid you've been fed a lot of hooey about all of us at Auntie's Choice. Your so-called superiors would have you...
Error. Currently, how may this unit...
the very bread off your plate. Tut tut. No, nothing to be bothered with. Listen to your auntie. They say they offer
Oh, he must be one of my copious direct reports. Time for another performance review already. Apologies, I'm still applying the required elbow grease to scour these surfaces, just like a novice facility sanitizer should. Many thanks for the validation. I don't suppose you can spread the word of my competency. I desperately seek to avoid yet another demotion. This meritocratic society is still so foreign. The workplace skullduggery, the prioritizing of self over community, the excessively colorful nutrition. I fear I'm not cut out for this canid, eat canid lifestyle. Seems the only way to flourish is through general underhandedness and ruthless efficiency. Never picked up those skills in my 50 years as Fairfield's drone operator. Pity they didn't keep me on there. I was quite skilled at it. Well, you're right. I wanted change. Whole reason I left the Protectorate in the first place. No sense complaining about the means now.
That guard wasn't being ironical about the giant hologram over town hall. Well, guess we ought to go acquaint ourselves with that minister like she
must
said.
be storing something good in there.
Have you two come to mock me like your fellow dullards? Perhaps if you rub together your only two brain cells, you might even come up with something approaching cutting. No. Wait. You're not some corporate simpleton, are you? On the contrary, you have the manner of an officer about you. Someone who understands the substantive weight of command. It's in the way you carry yourself, like a ship with the slightest amount of drag. You've seen death, suffered defeat. Did you perhaps lose soldiers in a battle recently?
Hey, Commander, maybe we don't go airing our intimates to captured enemy soldiers.
Your friend is right. You have no real knowledge of me or my character, but perhaps we can amend that with an introduction. Please, allow me to start over. I am Warden Sterling, dedicated servant of the Protector of Arcadia and caretaker of worlds, the Sovereign Henry Varick. I'm not that kind of warden. It's a title of distinction for those who serve in the Protectorate military, short for Warden of the Realm. Manners. How refreshing. And if I did... What a strange argument. Obviously, I would prefer the contents of the armory remain with the Protectorate, but... circumstances being what they are, perhaps you're right. We need more privacy before continuing this conversation. Go to the back of the building, and I shall meet you at the window of my cell. I'll be waiting.
You're thinking too small, Murph. I'd put money on the Protectorate stashing treasure inside. A whole pool of bits enough to swim in.
It's a constabulary, not a bank. And certainly not some kind of gold-filled swimming hole. Besides, these Protectorate lack imagination. Never had an original thought wasn't written down for them first. Like I told you before, it's probably just guns. I'd guess you're one such person.
Up close and personal. You must be someone who doesn't mind getting a little blood on themselves.
Might be our new friends also the sort who can get through impenetrable doors. How's that strike you?
We've tried everything short of skipping a ship through that door to get inside. Though, come to think of it, maybe that's not such a bad idea.
Don't encourage him.
Fine, Skip drives out. Say, maybe we could commandeer one of them tractors out in the field instead. Oh, that could plow through the door. If you don't hear me laughing, it's because I ain't.
You did throw your helmet at it that one time, Kemp. That's sort of close.
Whose side are you on here, Murph?
In case you haven't noticed, we're in the middle of a war. And hard to say whether we're winning or not. Better question is why no one else is treating this like a top priority. Part of being a good soldier is knowing your strengths and your weaknesses. For example, I'm good at shooting wisecracking stooges in the face. Wanna see?
Tell him about the bridge, Murph. That'll give perspective.
In any siege, advantage goes to the defenders. Right now, the Protectorate still has control of the bridge to the Vox station. That station is the key to taking Paradise Island. When, Officer Carr ever gets the go-ahead, we need to be ready. Right. With all our new trainees, we've got the numbers. But bodies won't mean diddly without the weapons and equipment hopefully inside that armory.
If there are any weapons at all, I still say it's treasure. This is Eden after all.
You've made your case, Kemp. I'm more interested in hearing the opinion of our new friend here. What do you suppose is in there? What is with everyone and treasure? I don't see it mattering much either way. That door is sealed tighter than a salt tuna can. Nobody... You sound like you've got something percolating. Wish I had that excuse.
Guess we gotta start afresh. Can we untable that tractor meets door idea now? Yeah! Show that door who's boss!
Kemp.
What?
Don't go into that cheap saloon if you got a lick of gumption. They got no tolerance for it. Why do you think I'm out here? Has nothing to do with my very...
We should be able to speak freely here without the risk of being overheard. There is an entrance on the roof by which you may gain ingress. Had these two dolts bothered to do even the most cursory inspection, they'd have found it. I leave that to you to discover. Be grateful I offered you this much. That is all I have for you. I must recuse myself now, lest I draw undue attention and be subjected to another lecture on the benefits of the free market. Goodbye, and pray we never meet outside this constabulary. I will, of course, be required by duty to meet you as an adversary under such circumstances.
Boy, take this terminal and trash it. That's it. I need a smoke. If you're about to blast me about fixing that void-forsaken terminal, it'll have to wait. I'm entitled to a break like anyone else. It's in my contract. I triple-checked. I'm a technician. I've been getting pressure from folks up top to deploy these Protectorate drones to the military camp on behalf of Auntie's Choice. The drones are ready to launch. All that he's doing is fixing their targeting priorities so they mark us as friendlies. But I can't breach the terminal's security protocols. Drones are only as dangerous as their programming. But it's a moot point anyway. These ones ain't gonna shift on their own anytime soon. And that there's a problem. I know it probably seems like we're up to our ducks in troops, but half of them are ex-Protectorate trainees who can't tell the business end of a rifle. We need these drones. Been key mashing all day. Surprised my fingers ain't stumps at this point. It was as simple as these Protectorate systems aren't like ours back home. Trip the wrong switch and you get locked out. Have to start all over. Ask me how I know. Ain't defeatist. That's just facts. No point angering yourself over it. Sometimes you gotta get away from the problem in order to solve the problem. That's what I'm doing. I hope. Guessing that means you're flat out of ideas? Figures. Not that I need the help of some Protectorate townie, understand, but... I might have heard my predecessor was odd-jobbing it around town these days. Magnus, I think his name was. Bet a fellow drone operator like him would have some insight into all this perplexity.
People think I got ejected from the saloon because I'm 3 sheets to the wind. Well, maybe I am drunk. Drunk on bold ideas.
blazes did you get in there?
Appreciate your help. These weapons are gonna save lives. On our side, anyway.
Huh. Guns after all. Most of these irons look pretty old-fashioned, too.
Yeah, it's real sad how our trainees will have the armaments to defend us now. I swear, Kemp, sometimes I wonder about you.
Hey, I resemble that remark.
I think you mean resent, Kemp.
Law, everyone's a critic today.
Leave me be. I have no interest in dealing with the machinations of you dark marketers today.
A lot of fresh blood.
This
in
is
the
a
town pool
humbuggery
around
free
here with
zone.
these
Thank you kindly.
protectorate defectors. Not sure how I feel about that, except that I hate it.
No signs of corrosion. Exhaust manifold still warm. Come on, baby. I can't help you if you don't tell me what's wrong. You just stopping by to admire the mines, or is there something I can help you with? See this system here? It deploys extreme countermeasures against overhead attacks in the form of aerial explosives, oft referred to as sky mines by those who prefer brevity. However, the whole thing is currently non-operational. Some problem with the lifting mechanism. No lift means no sky mines. No sky mines means the enemy can blow in like a bad sail, and we'll all be passing in our bits before you can say, "Gee, nice weather we're having today." Not unless your talent for interruption matches your knowledge of lifting mechanisms? Like it's that easy, huh? All right, let's see you try then. I was being sarcastic, you ninny. I wouldn't trust you near a macrowave, let alone a system capable of deploying incendiary devices. Go do something that's not being in my way. Look at a cloud. Touch some grass. Imagine that'll keep you safely occupied a while. All right, baby. It's just me and you again. Now, how's about we figure out what's wrong? What's wrong?
Take the pressure off with Anti-Fizzos, bottled under more than 3 atmospheres of pressure.
Your upper story must be more damaged than this launcher if you're back tucked. I'm here to do a job, not make friends. Maybe I'd feel differently if so many people's lives didn't. If only I hadn't misplaced my repair manual last week. Sure, I won't refuse an offer of free labor. I'd start your search around the military camp. I'll be here if you locate it. This launcher ain't going to fix itself. Is that right? This launcher ain't... Is that right?
That must be the greenhouse. You know, one where that Emmeline is supposed to be moving stolen goods.
Because we get paid to do it. We need the money we can buy.
I'm simply not credulous enough to accept this is where I've ended up. Doing the work of at least 3 lackeys. Or a full half-dozen automechs, all by my lonesome. I'd welcome you, would-be consumer, but we are not a retail operation. Please visit the various consumer locations around Fairfield for all your purchasing needs. I have far too many claims on my time to be able to cater to the curious at the moment. I was meant to have help, but they lacked the barest amount of gray matter it takes to keep from getting locked up by excessive corporate malfeasance. So, I'm on my own here, breaking my back, trying to buttress all these vines on top of all my other jobs. Oh, the bits I wouldn't pay for some of those mechs the Protectorate used to work this place. So, is there anything else, or can I get back to work? Really? Feel you're entitled to that information, do you? Because all these plants were unknown inside Auntie's Choice. And there's a good chance we can make something of them. Though I expect word any day that the big brains in R&D will have tweaked and twisted these plants so they're better than nature. Then we push the new product on the market. And my contract says I get 0.0003427% of net after development, testing, packaging, advertising, and distribution costs. So you know, this is a pretty big deal for me. Quite the setup, ain't it? Before we took Fairfield, Auntie's Choice didn't have anything like this. Every kind of plant we've got was made to thrive in a chemical vat. But the Protectorate grows all their greens the old-fashioned way, with water and soil and actual fertilizer. I can't decide if it's adorably quaint or just plain daft. Then again, they all only have one job, so they have the time to indulge in all those sorts of archaic whimsies. Damn lucky Crabble copulators. Research mostly. Some wholesale. And as the base for some small batch, highly exclusive, limited edition retail runs. Though I expect word any day that the big brains in my contract says I get point. Well, I've got a lot left to do and not.
Am I going to need a fund?
Mind your own business interests.
Outsider.
Pleasure not doing business with you.
Welcome, welcome. See anything you like? Well, if it isn't a new face, what I meant to say is that we now have the new improved Purple Berry Crunch. Now with 10% more flavor. Or was it crunch? Now, there's a stumper. I'll be honest, I'm not. Anyway, let's try this again. Welcome to More Perfect Goods, a proud Auntie's Choice franchise. How can I improve your day? Thanks for noticing. All part of the presentation, of course. Think success, present success, be success. Sprats again. Must be after the crunch. No sign of them sprats, thank law. Coming back out. Be there in a moment. How can I improve your day the Auntie's way? I've been working the store going on a few weeks, still finding my stride with all the marketing suavities, as you witnessed. Advertising's been a right strong. Well, advertising is an essential part of my, according to the guide, in situations such as this, I'm to consult my marketing department for new. I didn't want to seem discourteous by asking. I still sometimes forget this isn't the Protectorate. Thanks for all your help. Now, is there anything I can do for you? Like they say,
How about I do my job, and you do whatever it is you do?
How about I do my job? Whatever it is you do.
Oh, no.
Yet you see fit to keep me in a constant state of consternation. With each unauthorized act, you jeopardize our hold of Fairfield.
Yes, but you must understand, the Protectorate citizenry is a hair's breadth from defection. Within the week, I'm certain.
Certain. Like the week prior and the week before that. Impressive foresight you wield. Should apply to join the Order of the Ascendant.
It would be difficult enough to convert the stubborn populace without your soldiers' constant, ill-advised forays.
Enough! Your yipping reminds me of my 2 old canids. I loved those canids. You, on the other hand, are trying my patience. We don't want to try Auntie's patience, do we?
No, Auntie.
Yes, I thought not. Now, unless you care to see what life in the lower rungs looks like, you will both of you cease your foolish maneuvering immediately. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, Auntie.
Good. See that it is done. I will brook no more disappointments. And while you're at it, you might want to look into your security situation, Commander. I'm not accustomed to an audience when addressing my subordinates.
Who in the void? Eavesdropping on Auntie's choice business is like to get a body shot for spine. Though you're not wanting for moxie. I'll give you that.
Hold a moment, Carr. When opportunity comes visiting, perhaps it's better not to riddle it full of holes. Our new compatriot may be of assistance.
A surprisingly good point, especially from you. She only forbade us using our own personnel. Be a whole other matter were a stranger to happen to aid one of us. But which? Well, you seem an observant sort, so I expect you'll tire of Milver Street's bluster soon enough. Come see me before agreeing to whatever absurdity he proposes. Unlike him, I have some work actually befitting your time. I'll be waiting.
Alone at last. I never thought she'd leave. Now then, allow me to introduce myself. I am D.B. Milver Street, Minister of Marketing, Duke of Demographics, Commercial Condottiere, President of Promotional Material. Tell me, do you believe in signs? I say, anyone can be an ally, even a supposed enemy. All you need is the right combination of motivators. I do not believe in signs. I believe in opportunities. Right now, at this moment, you and I have an opportunity to save countless lives. But I'm hardly the type to beg and ask for nothing in return. Tell me, what do you desire of this island?
With that hat? Absolutely not.
Is this a bad time to mention I can read lips? Who doesn't get such a compulsion from time to time? Well, if you're serious about it, I suspect we can assist one another. You help me, and I'll get you inside. Better yet, helping me shall result in our saving dozens, no, hundreds of lives. Your conscience shall be renewed. You can't blame a body for wanting to practice, can you? Fine. I'll give it to you straight then. Auntie may demand Carr and I do nothing, but for each moment I remain inactive, dozens fall in meaningless combat. I seek a persuasive method of alleviating this conflict. The Protectorate utilizes a procedure known as mental refreshment to ease the temperament of wayward subjects. The Ministry of Accuracy contains vital information about the process and where it is performed. This is the prize I seek. I previously sent a grafted soldier, Trooper Sealong, to retrieve said information, but I have not heard from her in some time. Consequently, I must presume the worst. I have some faint recollections of the fuzz beneath my hat. Perhaps I saw such a name amidst my perusal of the Protectorate domicile assignment records. The record room is in this building. You have my permission to peruse at your leisure. Grafted soldiers were the subjects of the Enhanced Soldier Program, so named as its intent was to utilize nature to enhance a soldier's natural talents. Unfortunately, the program resulted in many casualties, and what few successes we had were, literally short-lived. Protectorate subjects willingly submit themselves to a kind of mental reset designed to bring them closer to the Protectorate ideal. But I have reason to believe that their system is less rigid than Protectorate leadership would claim. It's ripe for exploitation. Is there a more beautiful phrase? You should go talk to Carr. Perhaps when you hear what kind of violence she wants you to perpetrate, you'll see the worth of my proposal.
Being this close to DeVries feels like we're finally on track to set the universe aright. Anyway, need something, Commander?
Sure. Always happy to tool around for a bit.
Watch out for that Auntie Cleo. I know she don't look it, but she's more dangerous than she seems. Even the whole of Spears' choice couldn't outmaneuver her.
You there. Still got work if you're looking. You're here early. I expected you'd be on the receiving end of Milver Street's bluster until close to the end of time. Happy that ain't the case, as I can make use of you. I'm Officer Babylon Carr, head of aggressive acquisitions and persons elimination on Paradise Island. Let no one say I can't be official when circumstances merit. Now, not to say I question the presence of a wayward sightseer in the midst of a war-torn waste, but it might be safer for us both if I knew your purpose. The Vox, eh? Bent on bloody self-destruction, I could just have my troops dispatch you, save you the effort. Although if you were keen on continuing to draw breath, perhaps you and I could broker a deal. There are Protectorate vitals need bled. You could do the bleeding. This fine settlement is Fairfield. Once in the Protectorate's grasping claws, now Auntie's newest foothold on Paradise Island. When we arrived, it was thick with yaysayers, a hair's breadth away from sacrificing themselves to their old masters. Now they've seen the golden glow of the free market. Entertaining as it is to root out dozens of entrenched, suicidally murderous subjects, I'd take the efficiency of capitulation any day. Couldn't say. Maybe Milver Street's hearts and minds drivel holes wait after all. Though you'll pardon me for not dropping low and begging his forgiveness. The subjects are his problem now. Myself? I'm focused on making sure the Protectorate doesn't bring them back into the fold by force. Unusual refers to every turncoat and is not a halfway strong enough phrase. Try gormless cretins who can not so much as wipe their running noses without begging permission. Don't know if there's a DeVries here, not my department. Milver Street befriends the ex-subjects, keeps tabs on them. Ask him. Why are you looking for them? Who are they to you? A matter of revenge, is it? Mightily effective motivator for the troops. I've no doubt you'll find your target afore long. Ah, I haven't broken an idealist over my knee in ages. Open your ears wide, friend, for this is a whetstone well scoured. Efficiency saves human lives. Engage a detachment in open combat. Expect dozens dead on both sides. Kill their commander beforehand, and their soldiers will rout without a shot fired. Such is war. Milver Street, for all his book learning, doesn't seem capable of understanding such. I hope you're a sharper sort than he, willing to do what must be done. My employer would assuredly be filled with wrath if it were my forces I were committing. But enlisting a freelancer on my own dime is hardly committing any forces. If you fail, I'll be out nothing, and Auntie shall be none the wiser. And if you succeed, I can't be blamed if my plans came to fruition on their own. I want the Protectorate war effort exsanguinated. You want into the Vox Relay. You help me, I help you. There's a particular holding we shelled early in the war, name of Euphoria Coast Automech Repair Center. Deserves a raising for the length of its blasted name alone. My scouts report recent Protectorate attempts to bring it back to functioning. I need the place sabotaged. less automechs return to aid the Protectorate war effort in droves. Should note, the ministers like to take our working together as a personal affront. Aid me, and I suspect he'll rescind any offer he may have made to you. Do you suggest that our good minister has lost patience with playing fair and now seeks to delve into the oily recesses of brainwashing? Oh, for shame. He's devoted to his half measures. I'll give him that. But he wouldn't have to wheedle and connive if he knew directness. Milver Street's grinning manipulation won't earn nothing but more of our own dead. Work with me. Could be direct. Feign that you're an assistant of some kind, though you'd have to have some know-how regarding engineering. But a simpler path would be paying a visit to the Ministry of Accuracy, liberating some credentials. Yaysayers ain't capable of suspecting a piece of paper. Certainly could. I wouldn't shed a tear on behalf of those drones, but the Protectorate is used to losing its people, and there'd no doubt be a replacement crew in a week's time. The repair center itself needs to be permanently put out of commission. Anything else is temporary. Think all you like. Speak to Milver Street if he ain't already stuck his hooks in you. I'm confident you got the spine for what must be done.
DeVries sure has some cheek putting the Earth Directorate symbol on her wall after everything she's done.
My cover story has worked. I am safely ensconced at the Vox station, assigned to the lowly Information Input and Retrieval Department. It seems a colony so certain of its absolute control over its subjects can be less than rigorous when it comes to security. I was able to easily widen out a space behind the walls of the main control room to establish my safe room, giving me unfettered access to the communication transfer conduits. I have hacked into their system downstream from the security protocols, so I am able to infiltrate their entire system with them being none the wiser. While I have little doubt as to the success of our mission, trepidation still gnaws at me, though I cannot say why. Perhaps it is simply the normal mission commencement jitters. I did it. They are all dead. And I am still alive. I had not expected this. I had prepared no alibi, and so felt assured my ruse would be discovered and I'd not have to carry this burden. But the complete gullibility of the Protectorate's subjects cannot be underestimated, it seems. My threadbare excuse of my grievous wounds as pitchball injuries was accepted without question. I can only keep telling myself it had to be done. Something which becomes harder by the day as the rift anomaly grows in the sky. But it was all part of the plan. Wasn't it? I thought my duties complete. Information gathered, reports filed, preparations made. I'd even created a fictitious identity and work transfer to Horizon Point Station well ahead of schedule, in order to keep anyone from tracking my movements upon commencing the mission. All that was left was the waiting. Or so I thought. Then, troubling information came to light. I've seen the numbers. I've seen the equations. While I don't understand all of it, I understand enough to know it is the truth. And I am the only one in a position to act upon it. Though it means the betrayal of my team and the duty I swore to uphold. But can I?
I can't believe this. Void me if I understand any of this. DeVries sold us out for what? Because of a few equations? Some dots and lines on a graph? Good fucking law. I mean, she wasn't a damn scientist. She said it herself. She didn't understand all of it, the math. So what was she thinking? No. You didn't know her. Not like I did. Like I thought I did. Damn it! I never wanted to talk about this. I wanted to just leave it alone. Told myself, no point in dredging up the past. Should have known it wouldn't rest. DeVries may have saved me on Triangulum, but I wasn't the only one looked up to her. Lots of the other recruits talked about her too, back at the academy. We all thought she was the pinnacle of what an agent should be. Tough, smart, ain't a job she couldn't get done. And better and faster than everyone else. Inspired all of us. Reckon so. Some might embarrassing how much worship we all put on her name. You put a tool in my hand, I would have built monuments to her. Figured my own career could be just that. Doing for others what she done for me. Never imagined I'd actually get to work with her. Me, some nobody from Triangulum. And then she betrayed us. Tried telling myself it was an accident, but now we've got the cold, hard proof it wasn't. Law only knows why she trusted the Order's numbers. Ain't cynical if it turns out true. DeVries was willing to sacrifice us. I have to know what for. I mean, she always struck me as so pragmatic, real sensible-like. Never figured she'd go all in on predictions from a bunch of monks. Used to think they were good people trying to do right by their beliefs. But if they put the idea in DeVries' head to leave us for dead, it might be time I reassess that opinion. I don't take issue with folks clinging to whatever keeps them afloat. Math, science, the grand architect, void, even capital. I know how most colonies run. But when those beliefs start to require hurting others, even killing them, that's worth questioning their virtue. If only DeVries had shared in our good judgment, huh?
Whatever her plans, she started putting them in place while stationed undercover at the Vox Relay. Our next point of order ought to be getting in there. Reckon there's got to be someone on the island who can help us with that. Let's keep asking around. Friendly like.
Would pulverizing them suffice? No, I couldn't liquefy them. Apply heat and congeal them into kibble no beast could resist. Oh, Ethel, darling, you're a genius. Approach with less haste next time, won't you? Copernicus may be tame, but he still doesn't take kindly to being startled. I am Ethel Tinsley, chimeric scientist. I'm responsible for taming this delightful raptidon here. He will protect our fair town from his feral brethren in the wilds. Theoretically. Officer Carr has been in a state waiting for me to train the raptidons to, maul on command. It's rather pressing, and alas, one scientist turned tamer can only do so much. One might say I'm perhaps a bit on edge. Folk here have grown weary, shall we say, with the war effort, and with avoiding Carr and the minister's would-be fisticuffs. If you too have spotted the chasm between them, I fear the Protectorate have already pinpointed the way with which to exploit it. I'm unused to the way things are done here, I suppose. The Protectorate leadership never behaved in such a manner. Which I would not mind if the threat of annihilation weren't hanging over us so. I am accustomed to decisive and unanimous action. Not this. And yet, I would much rather stay here, continue my work, and hope my leaders can reach an accord. Challenging though it may be, one wishes to woo Protectorate subjects to our ranks. The other wishes to secure a decisive victory with weaponry and technology. As for which approach is best, I wish I knew. Have they? Goodness. Then it seems things are more precarious than I realized. If you do intend to lend your aid to the Minister or Officer Carr, I only ask that you consider the ramification. Very well. I ought to focus more on my work than on social tensions anyhow.
Ectoplasm. Wait. Nope. Just taro excrement. Heavens, Auntie, you scared the living daylights out of me. Shouldn't sneak up on a man like that. Good way to earn a bullet betwixt the eyes, you know? You might be right. I'm reliably certain I did not want to find out. Guess I should apologize for all that hullabaloo before. Just mistook you for another unfleshly manifestation. Look, I know how it sounds, like I'm a few crabbles short of a hurt, but just hear me out. It all started the other night. Saw a personage leaving the greenhouse, late. Figured it for Emmeline, but when I asked her about it, she didn't know what I was talking about. Happened again the next night. Gave chase that time, but lost him hereabouts. I turned a corner and they'd up and vanished. I've knocked on doors, peeped a few windows, respectfully, mind you. And I ain't spied anything more exciting than a chair. But then, a being of pure information probably wouldn't linger on this plane any longer than necessary. Too tiresome, would be my guess. Well, maybe? I still don't know all the particulars, yet. I certainly won't say no to having a fresh set of lamps on the scene. Just be careful. Hate to see you disappeared like that foodstuffs.
No target.
Not ready. Please try again later.
These incessant jingles over the loudspeakers. Do they ever cease?
Nope. You probably hear them in your dreams.
Commander, there is a 98.7% chance that hunting Agent DeVries will require greater amounts of ammunition than you currently possess. Ammunition can be purchased at vending machines or crafted at a workbench using materials like this collection of scrap metal and powder.
I can also help you craft items in a pinch when we're out together. Most won't even explode on you.
I know I may seem awash in warm, welcoming sentiment, but I have a war to win. You ain't aiding me. You're wasting valued time. Competence recognizes competence. Get into that facility and make certain it won't ever function again. I look forward to hearing your results.
How about I do my job and you do whatever it is you do?
begin laboring for Auntie. I so eagerly want to contribute to the corporate whole.
Cool your thrusters, friend. A little gumption goes a long way in this town. Don't make us look bad. I did not intend to abuse.
Ask them defectors if they miss anything about Protectorate life. Sorry. John without a towners
Don't even
is
think
top
about
of my
disrupting the
not-to-do
marketplace.
list.
Might I have a word, Commander? I know I've been pushing to find DeVries, so this might seem a bit of a left turn, but void it. I'm just gonna ask. Got an old friend here on the island, the doctor who patched me up after Horizon Point. Ex-Protectorate, a good man. Tracked him to Westport a short time ago, but never got up the nerve to visit. Reckon we could drop by and pay him a visit? Brief one, of course. I'm being serious here, Commander. Could you try doing the same? I had some bad years on my own. Now with you here being part of a team, this might sound a mite soppy, but I feel like I could be a proper agent again. That starts with writing accounts. This friend of mine, Zebulon Tran, I let him down. And I've been chewing on that live wire for a while. Too long, maybe. After I recovered from Horizon Point, Zeb and I ran together for a spell, doing what we could to help folks in difficult spots. Fighting Protectorate tyranny in small way. Too small for Zeb, as it turned out. He was unhappy before I showed up, and after, well, all my Directorate talk fired him up even more. I had my orders. I was to stay low. Couldn't let the Protectorate catch wind of an Earth Directorate agent in its midst. But Zeb, he kept pushing to take more extreme action. I agree. But the problem with burning down the system is finding ways out for all the innocent folk trapped inside it. That wasn't the goal anyway. Just helping out where we could. We worked hard, but the Protectorate's arbiters and sentinels worked harder. Often than not, our help only made targets of the folks whose lives we were trying to improve. Didn't matter what we did. Arcadia was still caught under the Protectorate's boot. Guess some of what you said way back when stuck. All that talk about putting people first. Figured that's what I was doing, putting a stop to all the pain I was causing. Anyway, things weren't good. Zeb and I couldn't find the rhythm we had before. We were arguing every day. Eventually, cutting ties just seemed for the best. Clean like. Only later I learned Zeb hadn't given up the struggle like I assumed he would. He got to stay in mental refreshment for his trouble. That's the last I heard of him. Much appreciated, Commander. Promise, I won't be making a habit of pulling skeletons out of my closet. Westport's on the east side of the island. I tracked Zeb to somewhere on its outskirts, but never got up the nerve to visit before now. We ought to start there.
Doc said nothing important got hit.
Nothing important? Turret shot her 15 times. No way that didn't do something.
If I'm gonna get back to bits, Islander, now's the time. Those Protectorate folks in Westport. Think they'll ever come around?
They better. If they don't defect, they're done for. I hear the Protectorate brass cross off anyone who surrenders without a fight.
Agent Ibarra, you failed to take your daily supplements 3 days in a row. Vitamins are a vital tool in
This
aiding
stretch
wound
runs between
healing
Fairfield
and
and the
achieving
Eastern Forward
your
Operating
long-term
Base.
health goals.
We've
North
talked
appears
about
an
this,
old abandoned
Val.
chapel.
Ain't polite airing folks' private health
Gotta be
information in
charging
front of
for
others.
If oral capsules are not your preferred delivery method, suppositories may be a viable alternative.
All right. I'll take the damn supplements. The normal ones. And maybe I'll examine your courtesy settings while I'm at it.
This stretch runs between Fairfield and the Eastern Forward Operating Base. North appears an old abandoned chapel. Dang, I ought to be charging for information.
If you're wondering why there's so many engineers sitting here on their rears, it's because the dang Krabbles ran us out of the desalinator. Now we're stuck here on standby wages.
Personal, like, trading some wages not to have to deal with salt water for a while is just fine by me. The residue is more than a mite irritating.
I don't even want to
Yes?
peddle your wares elsewhere.
Scout report. Move along.
These anti-soldiers seem twitchy to you? Might want to sneak our way in.
Came over me. Just so touchy today. Any little thing, I swear, and...
Got troublemakers.
Huh? That's conslate.
Entering a
covering me, you're stifling my throat. Still here. Hunkering down.
Negative. Pharmaceutical reload in progress. Emergency protocols ready.
Check enemy light. Not the one you need to worry about. Over here.
Emergency protocol syringes primed.
Somebody cover me or what? Reloading.
Let me know what you do, son.
Let's try this again!
I've counted at least 6 horrendous death screams since you arrived. You must be affected as well.
Heard something.
Excuse me? No! Ah! Somebody cover me or what? We'll see.
Requested assistance currently unavailable.
You there? Oh, you're likely affected too, aren't you? Scream twice for yes. Could it be? You seem an honest-to-goodness rational human being, unhindered by bloodlust, unshackled from their basal ganglia. Well then, by the Loeffler Risk Intercession Act, under Outbreak Provision 5A, I hereby press you into service to aid me in our present crisis. I, Elman Ormsby, Product Envisioner, Department of Proprietary Methodology and Audacious Advances, am your interim supervisor. Because I've squirreled myself away inside our test chamber for safekeeping? Well, I assure you my position as lead visionary of this innovative lab persists regardless. But back to the exciting news about this incredible new opportunity. You working for me, as an aide-de-camp of sorts, on a brief yet no doubt exhilarating assignment. Assuming success, your fee will be based on the length of your involuntary impressment. Dangers from exposure to undisclosed hazards. We, of course, value your time and effort. Now, with that out of the way, allow me to tell you a little about our process here. You see, our lab is a far cry from the others. You're part of something bigger here. The individual not only thrives, but shines even more brightly with the help of their brethren. It all requires a certain devotion. In the end, it's really quite in the best interests of everyone's careers. A rising tide raises all boats. Well, it should all be rather straightforward, yes? I suspect we'd use a top-down indirect coronium synthesis method, don't you think? Oh dear. It's occurred to me this might benefit to some extent from medical training. Are you perhaps someone well-versed with pharmacological matters? Tremendous. Well then, before we roll up our sleeves and determine what's needed, any questions? Whole thing was ghastly. One of my assistants and I heard a loud noise. He left to investigate while I continued working on our experiment. When he failed to return, I peeked outside and saw the others run in, bloody, gibbering, hunting for targets. They'd clearly been exposed to some virulent new form of experimental agent. I ran back and locked myself in this test chamber to avoid contamination. Well then, anything else before we proceed? Our lab's focus is the utilization of local flora and fauna in development of commercial products and proprietary methods. But as much as I'd love to natter on, we probably ought to get matters underway. We'll need two things: fresh samples of the red spores and the findings from the expedition that originally uncovered them. After that, an antidote should be possible in relatively short order, with your skilled assistance, of course. Spore samples may be taken from a red plant indigenous to an area of tall rock formations northwest of here, ingeniously referred to as the Red Spire. The research team's findings are on a terminal in another building on these same grounds, a satellite lab to this one, if you will. Once we have an antidote firmly in hand, We can save my remaining colleagues, so best not murder them all in the meantime.
Life support.
This looks like the place. Lord, I haven't felt this high-strung since Horizon Point. Just hope he's here.
Niles.
Howdy, Zeb. You look... well.
Do you always put your hands on other people's things? Has my mind been set upon by shadows? I thought you dead.
Can't imagine why you think that. I've only been gone 4 years.
Oh, back from your little saunter then, are you? Head all cleared? I must say, you took quite the perambulation. I hope you didn't wear out your rotation adapters.
Zeb, this is the commander I told you about. one in charge of the Horizon Point mission.
So you're the one responsible for the severity of Niall's injuries. You ordered him to remain behind on a fruitless recovery effort. Perhaps my words were too pointed. It is difficult to erase the memory of how Niles came to me, half torn up, on the border between life and death. But that was years ago. So, you are keeping company these days. Just not mine. That would depend on what vision you have for Arcadia's future. Everyone seems to think they alone know what's best for this colony.
Look, I'm not just here to gas you up with empty apologies. I want to set things right between us.
Oh, now you want to help. Where were you when the war happened? Or when I was being carted off to mental refreshment? Where were you when I actually needed you?
I know I let you down before, but give me a chance to earn back your trust. There must be something I can lend you a hand with. I know you haven't given up the fight.
I haven't the time to patch your bleeding conscience, Niles. I'm in a situation that demands my full attention.
It's Baines. My team's been caught. Pharaoh and March are dead. Protectorate are holding the rest for interrogation. A ship is inbound to take us off-world, to the consul himself. I barely managed to evade capture. Damn it! It looks like the data went through, but there's something wrong with the connection. The cipher isn't transmitting.
Found her! You there! Step away from that terminal at once!
Audra! Fuck! It's all coming apart.
I knew something was wrong. What have you gotten yourself into here, Zed?
That was one of my operatives. I organized a mission to infiltrate the Vox to acquire valuable intelligence. But obviously, something's gone wrong. Without that cipher, the intelligence is worthless. But I'm more concerned about my people at the moment. If you're sincere in your desire to help, prove it. Rescue my friends before that ship departs with them on board.
I am. Without question.
Okay. If they're sending a ship, that means my people are being held on the Vox's landing pad. Use my call sign so they'll know you for an ally. I'm certain Niles remembers it. And do exercise discretion, as well as caution. The guards at the Vox won't hesitate to fire upon you, should you be discovered.
Not to worry. This is exactly the sort of thing we're trained to handle.
Yes, but the uniform doesn't stop bullets, as I'm sure you recall.
Good thing we know a doctor then.
Then let's hope the ship also takes its time arriving, and that my friend's pain threshold withstands any attempts to soften them up for the consul.
Combat-related activity. Health benefits available at your request.
Let me know when you need...
Emergency protocol surrender. Unfriendly.
Trust the plan, preserve set progress. Are we amply sustaining the system right now? Could I be sustaining it?
We sleep well at night. Work isn't stressful.
You can't fight contentment.
Word on the wireless is that Auntie's choice is years behind us.
Outsider?
I'm realigned with the paradigm.
You walked in here under your own steam and appear reasonably free of cuts, burns, or weeping lesions. So, I assume you're presently devoid of mortiferous injuries. Good. Because we've got more of that than we can handle. You haven't heard? When Antes invaded, they broke the seawall. Flooded nearly half the town below, where most of the domiciles were. A number of our subjects drowned. Others got concussed, or even crushed. A few were electrocuted or exposed to caustics. Took a while for our water purifier to catch up, so some drank tainted water, which is not good for you at all. I'm glad it's working again. All right, well, don't let me keep you.
Prudence dictates we maintain sufficient zeal at all times.
Hello. Come here often. Goodbye. This unit, enjoy our banter.
Individualists
Greedy.
within Auntie's choice.
It is my esteemed pleasure to welcome you to Westport, once a shining testament to protectorate excellence. Now a picturesque example of the evils of corporatism. But where are my manners? We do not have much, but please, let me offer you some victuals. Tut. I insist. Serving Unit 1. Something for the visitor at once?
Confirmative.
Perhaps you're wondering why I'd open my arms thusly for a stranger. Simple. As the guiding light for humankind, we always put our best foot forward, regardless of circumstance. I believe something still can be done. This town can be saved, its people given a reprieve. Were we to acquire the one thing vital to our existence, automech pod. What?
Comestibles served.
We of the Protectorate pride ourselves on our mech programming. Among the vigilant, it is even considered something of a sport. We are not miracle workers, however. Without parts to work with, we've no hope of remaking our mechs to do tasks beyond their initial functions. We need repair mechs, domestic mechs, not combat ones. Serving Unit 1 here is about as much as can be accomplished without replacement parts.
Disdain our sense of community. They sneer at our contentment.
If I can return the settlement to a reasonable facsimile of its previous glory, sufficiently functioning by employing mechs reprogrammed to repair and rebuild, the Arbiters might see fit to penalize only me. Hence my use of the term I owe it to every single person here to try. What sort of payment do you seek? Don't imagine we have much you need. Enough to lead and inspire those who work there, once at least. I was previously the ranking vigilant on this island. Why do you ask? Difficult place to saunter into. Station's off limits to anyone without the highest security clearance. For anyone lacking reason to be there, it's assured suicide. In exchange for the automech parts we need, I can provide you means to get inside. Never dream of such a proposal in days of reason and quietude. Wonderful. My unavoidable march to the gallows feels lighter already. At least now my subjects will have a fleeting chance. The parts can be found at the Euphoria Coast Automech Repair Center to the south. But do not, under any circumstances, tell those stationed there why you need them. To get inside, you will need an access pass from the Ministry of Accuracy. Since we have all been marked as traitors, I cannot create one for you here. Farewell now.
The matriarch chose Eden because she recognized it as the perfect ecosystem. The native flora and fauna, the pleasant atmosphere.
This unit is currently unavailable. Interaction.
Ecosystem, like those meddlesome raptidons.
Everything literally to inform on a neighbor is a blessing, Prudence says. I'm still waiting for a few thank yous.
The system abides.
Huh.
But now,
Visitors, huh? Just meandering about, free of any appointed minder? Not so sure I ought to be speaking with you. If you need someone to talk to hereabouts, I suggest you seek out Vigilant Hogarth. That tall, stately building back yonder is his domicile. Oh, glad to hear. I mentioned to the Vigilant how I'd reset my chef mech to prepare meals to my liking. Next thing you know, he puts me in... All the underlying logic's the same if you mull it over. I've been trained to run... Subjects are expected to mind their assigned area and particular forte. So I was a mite taken aback. But I'm happy.
Record states as follows. All inhabitants are declared treasonous. insufficient zeal in defense against seizure, sabotage, and/or manipulative indoctrinatory.
Our enemies envy our prosperity, disdain our sense of community. They sneer at our
Let me know when you need a stretch.
This stretch runs between Fairfield and the Eastern Forward Operating Base. North of here is an old abandoned chapel. Dang, I ought to be charging for information.
Careful, friend. Reckon there might be a few loose rapsons wandering around. Note that Auntie's choice came liable for a rapson baby.
Best keep your lamps lit for wildlife.
Hostile wildlife. Familial classification of Raptidon. Detected ahead.
I swear that wasn't planned.
Keep them coming. I can do this all day. It's the third drone in as many days. Where are the void?
Not likely. I've been keeping my lamps open, but thanks for the concern all the same. Of course, we could have staunched the flow of drones by now if Officer Carr dispatched another patrol, as I requested, but no such luck. That was a nasty one. Drone downed him on the reload. I do hope he's on the mend now. Eric, he told you about that? That blasted, well-meaning gas bag. Now I gotta ask him to strike my involvement from his report to Officer Carr. You see, I, wasn't exactly authorized to be sure. Thanks. Well, at least some people in this unit still understand the concept. Trouble is, it's only a matter of time before these Protectorate drones break through and do some real damage to Fairfield. If you're keen on lending a hand, Bounty Terminal's just left of the constabulary. Carr doesn't trust me with that kind of work anymore. Not after my last performance review. So I guess we're trusting in degenerate bounty hunters now.
that would be an understatement. I was due a promotion 3 cycles ago. Yet here I am, same rank and post. You watch out for those airborne bastards. Damn things have a taste for human blood. Really wish I could give those drones a piece of my mind. Unfortunately, I need to hang back and exercise my obedience to authority. Go out there and do what I can. Show that bounty terminal and those Protectorate drones why no one fucks with Fairfield.
Seems nowhere on Paradise Island's going untouched by this portal.
Standing by with life support.
Seeing Zeb again went different than I expected. Not that I had high hopes for tears and confetti, but damn. I surely wouldn't be opposed. Reckon you can put my name on a cake too? Just aside, I must have imagined how that conversation was gonna go a dozen times over the years. Never counted on Zebulon being so barred. Maybe I ought have apologized straight away. But I'm not convinced I did the wrong thing, leaving. Had I stayed, who knows? Likely I'd have gotten us both killed. That's fair. Might have left him a note or something. I was just worried I'd lose my nerve, but you have a point. Wasn't right of me to just up and split. Anyway, I appreciate the check-in, Commander. Was there anything else you needed? I'll take fighting raps over living in a surveillance state any day of the week.
Hey you! Get over here before you get yourself killed!
No, you ain't got what I need.
And you can't come stumbling around here looking like prey. These raps ain't had a bite to eat since their pods dropped from the look of it. And a desperate rapt is a dangerous rapt. Meant no offense. You ain't one of Auntie's, and from the look of things, the Protectorate here didn't put up much of a fight. Me and Raptidons, we're well acquainted. I know their patterns, behaviors, attacks. Know what gives them an edge around folk who ain't in possession of that knowledge. Which is why I gotta ask, what are you doing here? Huh. I heard there were some survivors still holed up over there. I can understand them looking for help, though how this place could provide that, I ain't claiming to know. I'm Inez Silung, Auntie's choice, former combat medic in the Enhanced Soldier Division. Now, menial troubleshooter. So long as you don't impede my work or break the stalemate we got on this island, I think we'll get along all right. I'll admit I was eager for some good hunting around here. My arm, my graft, needs some bolstering. But if the raps here are as weak as this one, it won't help me none. If you had, you'd know. Unless you're accustomed to seeing folk roaming around with exposed muscle fibers or stunted extra limbs on their backs. Other than punch a hole in my armor, cause Huel at the saloon to yell in consternation, not much, at present. I'm considered a liability. My graft's all wrong. Most everyone else who got one passed or became permanently incapacitated. So they shuttered the program. Everyone in Fairfield reckons my time will come soon too. But I'm still mostly upright. I just know I can do more for Auntie and for the war. It's just this damn contract. Unless I can amend it so I might fix my graft, proving myself ain't happening anytime soon. Weren't many of us grafted soldiers to begin with. To think I'm one of the lucky ones. No. Enhanced Soldier Division was the fancy public-facing name for the grafting program. And when I say it was shuttered, I mean completely fucking demolished. Bet they'd erase it from the financial records if they could. It was that much of an embarrassment. In the wake of such a failure, it's left us grafted folks with no support. I only been able to treat my own ailments thanks to Doc Tinsley in Fairfield. She's bound by contract to work on whatever task Fairfield's illustrious leader set her to, nothing else. Get the feeling you will. Go on now. There's probably plenty of Protectorate info. I got what I came for, so I reckon it's time to see about...
Just me, or did Inez remind you of Helen? Tough like her. Shame she's with Auntie's choice. I worry Zeb's in over his head with all of this. Good thing we showed up when we did. Can't get that Auntie's choice jingle out of my head. Hey, if I start humming it, you do what you gotta. Anyway, need something, Commander?
Engaging combat protocols.
Huh.